Welcome to the channel, guys. Welcome to the channel. I know most of the times on this channel. First, okay, welcome to the channel. Let's do the intro stuff. So, welcome to the channel, guys. It's been a long time since I did a stream. It's been a few days. But good morning to everybody. First of all, hopefully you're having a great morning. I know I don't usually do streams about other teams. I think the last one I did was Arsenal. When Arsenal failed, that was seasons ago, failed to win the league. But I couldn't resist this particular this this Liverpool knockout is beautiful. Let's not lie. There's nobody here who can sit and say this is not beautiful. It is one of the most beautiful things that happened, and I want to talk about it. I'll explain to you why it's beautiful, because I don't know. There was just so much, right? There was so much. A lot of people say, "Oh, they're so lucky. They're so lucky. This year looks like everything is going their way. The players are not getting injured. They go to PSG. PSG outplay them, but they still manage to score." So destiny or fate was showing us that, oh, maybe Liverpool is lucky this year. Maybe Liverpool are going to do the fake treble. Basically, the fake treble is winning the Carabao Cup, winning the Champions League, and then winning the Premier League. But it didn't happen. Anyway, welcome, guys. Like the video. And those who haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Alan says, haha, bye-bye, Scouts. So funny. Yeah, it was funny. It was funny, Alan. Morning, how are you doing, Marvin? Big up, mate. Hope you're well. Big up to you, Chris. Patrick, no superstar policy suits PSG perfectly. The most dangerous PSG team I've ever seen. It's a very dangerous team. To be honest with you, if they find if PSG find a very clinical striker, if they find a vocal point, a striker that can also move around, they don't need do they need a Haaland? Yeah, they would use a Haaland, but they have to find a striker that suits the system, because it's sort of a force 9 system, isn't it? Big up to Enrique too. This is shameless reaction, Patrick. I'm sorry. I have a lot of content I can do today, a lot of stuff. I have artwork for Pep Guardiola. I wanted to talk about Pep Guardiola and everything is going through this season. I would have spoken about City, where we're gonna go forward, but I couldn't resist this. This is funny. As I said, I'm going to show you why this is funny. I'll show you. Just keep watching. Big up to you, Carl. I'm pretty sure it's very late there, but big up to you for coming on. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Patrick. It's 6 a.m. in the morning. Good morning.
Yeah, I know. That's why people are saying I'm shameless. I was like, yeah, because everybody's gonna be shameless. Because I'm pretty sure even Carl woke up this early, because this is it's funny, isn't it? It's funny because this Liverpool team, you know, the media, they're already painting them as the guys who are going to sweep every trophy.
Well, Patrick, it's not just that alone. I mean, when you watched the game yesterday, you saw a team and a manager who have no fear.
Oh, no. We're not going to get into that yet. I just wanted to introduce.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
this is what they were telling us. They were saying, if he managed to win the Champions League, managed to win, let's say, the Carabao Cup, they're going to use it as a treble, but it's not even a treble.
Well, that tells you how terrible the Premier League is.
Yeah, it does. It
tells you how terrible the Premier League is. None of those English teams are going to go far. Let's be clear. Villa and Arsenal, they're not getting to the final. They're not. So, yeah, here we are. Yeah, and I'll talk about my own perspective on what we saw last night.
Yeah,
I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised, by the way.
How can I say this? Obviously, just let me just read this comment, then I'll touch on that, because I also have got a few words on that. And I think I said it. Do you remember in the group, Carl, when I said be careful with Dembele? I wrote that time when we were playing them. I was like, be careful with this Dembele, and somebody in the group wrote that Dembele is finished. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because people don't know football because they like vibes.
That kid, even Sancho, I know that Sancho right now it's not working. There's these players, Carl, that all you need is somebody to put an arm around them. You know what I mean? Even Joao Felix. I know people keep saying bad things about Joao Felix. I've always said Felix just needs a manager who will just put an arm around him. There's players that have been forgotten. You know, Carl, the players I'm talking about, those players that were good, they were supposed to be something, they're just forgotten. Doesn't mean the talent is gone. It's just the fact that they went to different teams because of their agents. Their agents advised them wrong. Dembele, we all know that. I saw a documentary, Carl, that Dembele, Marcon, the Brazilian kid who went to Barcelona, one of the senior players was saying in a podcast that Messi is not a good model for young wingers. He said he's not trying to say that Messi is bad, that Messi has a bad attitude or anything. He says most of these wingers, Carl, when they went to Barcelona, they looked at Messi. Messi did not train hard. You know what I mean? He wasn't a hard trainer. Like he says he could sit on the phone before the match. Messi would be on the phone texting his wife, asking how the kids are, joking around, sending voice notes. Now people like Dembele, Marcon were looking at that, thinking, you know what? Talent is enough. If Messi is doing that, I can do that. But he says they were making a mistake. Because when Messi just goes in the pitch, he says he switches into something else. Do you get my point? So he was explaining about this in Dembele is that they were watching Messi and they started doing a similar habits, but not knowing that Messi is a different animal. He doesn't need to train. But anyway, there's a comment where Chris says, I'm a Liverpool fan. Well done to PSG. Well deserved. Win. A better team went through. We were lucky in the first leg. I'm still gonna be the one laughing at the end of the season. I will be cooking Arsenal. You can do your Arsenal thing, Chris. You can be shameless. I don't mind City. I like City, to be honest. They won't be getting cooked by me. That's the what can you cook at least? Okay. Anyway, the Premier League is awful. The best team in the Prem got humbled by French farmers, while City got pegged by trash Madrid team.
Yep. Awful.
It's been bad. So, Carl, first of all, before I start, I just wanted to share this. So, you know, the world is unfair, Carl. This world is so unfair.
How is it unfair?
How can you finish number one? Unbeaten. By the way, the lost one is PSG, by the way. So they never lost, by the way. So they just added the lost one recently. It was PSG, the PSG game. Liverpool were undefeated in the Champions League. Undefeated. Yes. They went undefeated, Carl. Undefeated at home and undefeated away. And let's not lie, they did beat teams that were very difficult to beat. But anyway, and then comes PSG, who struggled with us. They struggled, Carl. They struggled at the bottom. But you know what I want to paint, Carl?
Yeah.
There's two teams. And by the way, these teams have just gone up the table. I don't know why they are still doing the table. Why are they still doing the table, Carl? Why are they still...
Who knows?
Why are they still updating the table? It doesn't make sense. There's two teams, Carl, in this table who have amazed me. Somehow they have stepped up in the last minute.
Yeah.
Madrid and PSG. Why do you think that? Because the Madrid that started the Champions League, Carl, trust me, be careful. It's not the Madrid anymore. Mbappe is dangerous now. Mbappe has become dangerous. And then I don't know. I don't even see a different play style by Ancelotti. Obviously, they just look more brave now. They've started pressing. I think Ancelotti was complaining that his front three were not pressing, but I've noticed Mbappe.
Let me tell you what. Let me tell you why those teams are doing well, because they have a manager that is adaptable. You saw yesterday many moments how PSG were compact, were quick in transition, kept the ball well, took risks, defended like lions, and then transitioned Liverpool when they could.
Yeah,
that's what they did. And when they had the ball, they played with a calmness and a verticality that we've seen before from us, that we don't see again. Yeah. Nothing of the sideways, back and sideways, boring, sideways, 1,000 million passes nonsense that we see now. That's how they won yesterday. When they had to speed it up, they sped it up. When they had to be compact, they were compact. When they had to be controlled, they were controlled. They had all three in mixes. We had a goalkeeper who could make life-saving saves. That's what they did. And they managed to give. They played 120 minutes at Anfield, didn't concede a goal against this Liverpool team. That's not by accident. That's not fluke. That is a master plan of the manager and the players who believe in the system that they play, who allow them to express themselves and be free. even though Dembele was making bozo mistakes, he still was there in the game.
Yeah.
They had a young midfield who could control the game, who were dynamic and athletic, not a 30-something-year-old midfielder that you're keeping on because you have sentiment. That's the bottom line. So, that's the truth. It wasn't slow and boring and turgid and horrible to watch. They were dynamic, expressive, and when they had to run, they ran. And Liverpool couldn't keep up to that. They were lucky, Liverpool. They could have gone down to a goal or two.
Isn't it quite interesting that I remember when we were linked with John Neves. Some people were saying he's too young to pay that amount.
No, all these useless fans who everybody that's not English as young is not good enough to start. Echeverri comes in, he's a baller. You don't take him on a game, you keep him away. Why? But you see PSG playing young players. Are you telling me Echeverri is not better than Foden or better than Rico Lewis? Are you telling me he's not better than them? What are we doing here?
Nah, he is.
What are we doing here?
So anyway, talking about this game, to be honest with you, in the first leg, Liverpool were lucky, Carl. And I said at the beginning of the video that if PSG find a very dynamic striker, they find a very clinical striker.
I don't know if they need one though, Patrick. We throw away the whole old thinking of if you have a dynamic striker. It doesn't work that way sometimes. Sometimes striker can come in, the way you play changes. We look at Erling Haaland. Erling for us has been fantastic, but then there are moments in the game where you're like, this guy, you're not impressing. You can't press. You're standing there. Unlike when we had Aguero or like Alvarez who could press and harass.
This is what I'm saying, that they find somebody like that. Let me give you an example. Imagine PSG bid for Alvarez and Alvarez joins this PSG team.
So it's over.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, that if they got somebody like that, because what I was seeing sometimes, that's what I was missing. Because Bakola is very good, but I think he's more better at the as a winger, all of them. Dembele is very good though, down the middle. I saw him every time he gets the ball. Do you know what impressed me about Dembele, Carl, yesterday? As much as people were saying few things, is he always goes in front, never backwards. When he gets the ball, he's going in front. Have you noticed that? It doesn't matter that if they're going to take the ball away from me. There was a moment where I was surprised. Every time he gets the ball down the middle, Dembele was going straight for Van Dijk. He was going straight, but you find
but other teams will pass back. They're afraid of the transition, so
that's what I'm saying. I was like, it was amazing, and so Carl, obviously we all know that Liverpool got away with one by winning 1-0 at PSG. PSG played them out of the park. Vitinha, what a player! What a player! That midfield. This is what I'm saying. Why am I surprised? Because look at that midfield, Carl. Vitinha.
It comes down to Luis Enrique. We know Luis Enrique. We know what he can do. Patrick, we know what he can do. This was the guy who also had Neymar, Mbappe, Neymar, Messi, and Suarez. Remember that time when they won the treble, the Champions League? How they were dynamic. Do you remember that? Wasn't this guy who orchestrated the comeback against PSG, the 6-0, 6-5-1?
Yeah, he did. I remember he's the one who cooked them, isn't it? Yeah. I remember it was him.
That's belief. That's belief. Right? There were 2 goals down to City. They came back and we won 4-2. That's belief. No fear. Don't try and control the ball and want to control it for 1,000 million passes because you're afraid of losing the ball. Go for it when you can. Use the energy on the youth team. Nobody grew up playing, I want to control the ball, 1,000 million passes. So that's no.
Yeah. So what impressed you? Before I go to the to Liverpool and we talk about what impressed you with this PSG team? Like,
I just love the way
who impressed you as a player?
They all did the midfield. Vitinha, that boy Joao Neves, and then the left back.
Who's the other guy? Who's the other one? Fabian Ruiz. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, those 3 were incredible. That balance of the midfield, the rotation in the midfield. You see when one has the ball, they're close to each other. Tap, tap, tap. They slow the ball. They control the game. It was beautiful to watch.
Have you noticed that pressing in the middle by those 3? They will attack you and take the ball off you.
The way PSG played was how we used to play in 17, 18, and 18, 19. That's how we used to play. That's how we used to play. Think about 18, 19. That's how we play with David Silva, De Bruyne, and Fernandinho. The same way. That's how we used to play. When we went to Anfield and it was always 1-0 when Mahrez missed a penalty. That's how we played. Controlled, quick, dynamic, aggressive. No fear. That's how we played. But now we go and we start playing De Bruyne on the wing because we're afraid. Or Gundogan on the wing because we're afraid. Bernardo on the wing because we want to control the game, even though he can't run. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What about that keeper? I don't think he's this is just me, by the way. And guys, if you think I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Yes, he was good on penalties, but Carl, I don't trust him as a keeper. Maybe he'll mature.
He saved some big shots, though. I mean,
he did, but he's saving. Sometimes he could have held them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but his distribution is not that good. But his shot stopping is good. And in this kind of game, what you need is a shot stopper. You need a shot stopper. Somebody who will bail you out with an incredible save. And he did that a number of times. That's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for.
Oh, okay.
You know? Yeah. And then when it's penalties, he's Italian. Gigi Donnarumma's Italian. They know how to save penalties. Gigi Buffon.
Yeah,
so,
he was impressive. He was impressive. And you know what? For Liverpool fans, you can hold this, because Liverpool fans, you've been very cocky for these past weeks. You've been calling yourselves the best team in Europe. Look, yes, you were doing so well, you were playing so well, but everybody was telling you that without Salah performing, now that's what we're going to talk about next. Without Salah performing, there's nothing you do. What about the job? But Carl, didn't I say this, Carl? I said this in a stream recently. I said we have to stop this center back 4-back thing, Carl. We have to get back to 4 backs who bomb down the line. Have you seen Hakimi and Mendes?
Of course.
Then why do people keep saying? I know a lot of people keep saying, "Oh, our defense won't be solid." Look at that. A defense can still be solid. Why PSG were so dangerous?
Because Patrick, people have been drinking the Kool-Aid for a long time. Teams have found us out. They found us out. We're slow. They know they can play into the channels with this 3-box-3 system because players like Rico Lewis are not good enough. Then they can play on that side. Think about the game as far as when Kuznetsov makes a run back. He starts behind Rico Lewis, overtakes him, gets in position to block the ball. Rico is so far away. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, we do need 4 backs. Like, look at PSG. Hakimi and Mendes. You need 4 backs. Yes. And you know what? Mendes and Hakimi were offering another sort of outlet threat. You know what I mean? Like, this is that's why football is beautiful that way. I know that Josko is amazing. I get it, but he's not a 4-back. We need 4 backs, and this is what PSG show. And you know what? Enrique is a tactical genius, to be honest with you. And I hope before we move on to talk about Liverpool, I hope they win it. I hope
so too. I mean, it's going to be tough, but I hope they do. I mean, I think.
Yeah, I hope they do.
I think the fact that they started again with fresh, young, dynamic players, 1 or 2 old players who can give some balance, I think it just tells us everything. It tells us everything. You know, and I hope that we learn from this, that you don't have to be afraid when you go to Anfield. You don't have to play to the opposition. You play your game and believe in yourself and take the game to them. None of this, we can't cope with the transition. What kind of crazy manager says you can't cope with transition? What do you mean? The job is to find a solution to that. PSG found a solution to it. Makes no sense, Patrick. I don't understand it. Nothing irritates. What do you mean? We can't play against transitions. We're not built for that. What do you mean? So if all teams play in transition now, we're not going to win anything or do anything well.
That's what they keep. That's what they want to be selling us.
So it makes no sense to me.
PSG need a clinical striker. They can win Champions League next season. Don't see them winning this season. Be careful. They can still win it. I'm with Patrick on Donnarumma. There were a few times where Nesiri started punching it. That's what I'm saying. Some of the punching. He's young though. Real Madrid are still the best team in Europe, defending champions for a reason. I don't know, man. I see this PSG team can cause Madrid trouble. I think this PSG team, and I would love to see that game. And I would love to see that PSG versus Madrid game. But anyway, talking about Liverpool, what did you see from them? Why do you think they struggled?
No, they played the usual game, trying to be controlled and I felt that they were hurrying a lot in many moments of the game. I thought they didn't have as much, slot control as Slot would like. They were trying to force things, and they were losing the ball many, many times to PSG, and PSG would counter them. That's what happened. You know, they didn't have the luxury of every Premier League team being afraid to do anything to Liverpool, and then Liverpool just have their way. They went after them, and they exposed them in the midfield. Right? That's what they did, and they took their chances. That's what happened.
PSG were very dangerous when they turn over the boys in it. They're very dangerous.
Of course.
Yeah,
because they're young, they're quick, they're dynamic, and they're direct. They're direct. You know? They didn't try and faff around with the ball. Somebody's running as a winger, he turns back and plays the ball to the midfield, with everybody to arrive because they want to control the game. What kind of rubbish is that? What kind of rubbish is that?
Yeah.
They did the opposite. They went for the goal. They put Alisson on his toes in both games. That's the difference.
What did you think of Mo Salah in these 2 legs?
He was anonymous to me. I didn't notice he wasn't on the field.
He was controlled. Isn't this the same this Mendes kid? Wasn't it the same Mendes we were linked with seasons ago?
Yeah, we're linked with everybody, but then we rather prefer Rico Lewis and
I know.
And McAtee. We prefer them instead of these dynamic players who play in Europe because we feel that we have some kind of that's what we prefer. It's insane. It's insane. Because you won the treble with a good team that controlled, all of a sudden that's the answer to everything. No, teams will adapt. Teams will find you out. Teams will change.
Yeah, like to be honest with you,
they have to be athletic.
That's why I like this team. It's so dynamic. I'm telling you, and that midfield cow, it's like it's so unfair. That midfield cow is so unfair. You know what I mean?
How is it unfair?
I'm saying that the PSG midfield is so unfair.
Why?
They are all very technical. Very technical. They're very physical, very athletic, and they're all good at defending. And they all can see a pass. Like, you know, like sometimes when you have a team,
Patrick, let me teach you something, right? When you watch that PSG game, that's what young kids should be watching and emulating. That's how to play the modern game. Athletic, dynamic, controlled, rapid, versatile. Not slow, controlled, 1,000 million passes to nowhere. That's what you want kids to watch. That's what excites people to watch. Even if PSG didn't win the game, I even left the game at like 80, 70 minutes because I had to go for training. Even if PSG didn't win, I was happy the way they played because it showed me what I've been saying is that you can compete with Liverpool if you know what you're doing. If you're unafraid, you can do it. You don't have to go there afraid and scared. They're saying rubbish about we can't cope in transition, so we have to change it. No. Why? For what reason?
Yeah, but it must be painful for, as I said, Liverpool fans. If I were you, it's painful. Finishing top of the table and not even making it anywhere. That's just painful.
Yeah, they went from quadruple to treble to mini treble now to potential double. Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe Newcastle will do a job on them in the final.
If Newcastle do a job on them, it's bad. That's just bad. And I'm telling you, even if they win the Premier League, I think that would just be painful.
Premier League is junk. Premier League is junk this year, Patrick. Let's be clear. It's junk.
It is. It hasn't been great. And you know what? I say that the Premier League hasn't been amazing at all. And a lot of people have said it. Like, it's just the football sometimes has been terrible. And the thing is, certain teams look great because majority of the teams are just horrible. Even Bournemouth are not that great, but they're just looking great because they've got younger and they're being more brave.
Liverpool are 15 points clear of Arsenal. And think about it that way, right? City are still fifth, even though they lost 15 out of 30 games or something like that. Whatever it is. I hardly watch it nowadays, to be fair.
Yeah.
I hardly watch it. I check the score and move on.
I obviously appreciate Salah's goals output, but I've always said nowhere near our greatest player, Suarez. Levels above him.
Oh, yeah, Suarez is levels above.
Yeah, hopefully the South American Chaco brothers, Diaz and Nunes, leave my club. By the way, not blaming Nunes on the defeat yesterday. Nunes penalty, you could tell. Yeah, Nunes is pen, you could tell. The penalty from Nunes, you could tell. You could tell there was no confidence in him. And you know what? I don't blame him. He's been left on the bench. Things haven't worked out for him since he came to Liverpool. So
how many penalties did they miss, Liverpool?
What?
How many penalties did they miss? I missed the shootout. 2. They missed 2 penalties.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they missed 2. Yeah.
Who missed 2? Who missed 2?
I think it was Nunes and Jones, if I'm right. Is it Jones and Nunes? Yeah, I think Jones and Nunes they missed. It's quite funny. Do you know there's a player another player talking about players who people think they're finished, but it's as I said, it's just the fact that the player obviously is not in confidence. Do you know Kaiser, the one who went to Liverpool?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
another
yeah. I
that's
remember him.
another player. I don't think he's finished. I just think after the injuries with the issue with the manager Juve, he was left on the bench. I think Kaiser, there's still a player in there because he's young. And that's
Yeah,
another one, Carl. Keep an eye on. When somebody buys Kaiser and actually makes him the main man, he'll be back in the media again. Oh, Kaiser.
Chiesa.
Yeah, Kaiser, yeah. But let me ask a question, Carl.
Yeah,
Obviously, you've said, oh, the quad is finished. And I know they thought they're going to win a quad. And thank God they didn't win it. The treble is gone. The mini treble is gone. The double might be gone on Sunday. How do you see all this panning out for Liverpool? Because the way, as we say, taking advantage of a trash league, and they were taking advantage of a trash Champions League until the Giants woke up.
yeah. Just some giants woke up, others are still asleep. Unfortunately for us, I mean, we were rubbish in the Champions League. Awful poor manager decisions, poor player decisions, just awful. And just absolutely shocking. I will never forget Patrick. I remember the Feyenoord game. I was at the Etihad that day. And then I remember we were 3-0 up. It was like maybe 60 minutes, 58 minutes. He makes 3 changes. I'm sitting there with my lads saying, why is this guy making these changes at this point in time when we're under quote-unquote control? Just see the game out. And then that was a game that collapsed everything, Patrick. That was the game. That was the game that caused the catastrophe of what we see now. That 3-3. It was a disaster. And here we are. So
yeah, we're down and under in the mud. It's embarrassing. I need City to get competitive again and Arsenal to get back to beautiful football of 2023. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I said the same. I said on a channel that Arteta was playing very good football in 2022 and 2023. It was dynamic. The football was amazing, and I loved that football. But somehow he listened to the media when the media told him, "Oh, you cannot always just play beautiful," and then he went a bit defensive. He could have stuck to what he was doing. John's penalty was more worse than Nunes. I know. Newcastle will be taking encouragement that we went to extra time. They will. Newcastle will. Newcastle were licking their lips. They were resting at home as you guys are playing extra time. Kaiser was FSG signing. He is gone in summer. I'm sick of NHS hospital bed models at the club. PSG midfielder quality all round. Yeah, they were that quality. Now PSG has, as I said, PSG has been playing ever since they beat City. They have been playing amazing, beautiful football, and they've just clicked. And it's so Vitinha. Oh my God, Vitinha, for a guy his height, this Vitinha guy. I remember when Vitinha, before PSG bought him, when people were linked, everybody was looking at him like people must be regretting, because this Vitinha guy is a warrior, man. The guy was everywhere on the pitch, man. That it's just Fabian Luiz, like it's just beautiful football.
it's Patrick. It's balance.
Yeah, and that defender Pacho. Did you see him, Pacho, the defender?
Yeah,
very
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Strong in the air, very physical. He knows when to tackle. Go ahead, Carl.
You're right. That's what we need, right? Fearless, brave, unafraid of any crowd or any crowd with Carragher inside, or just fearless, not cowardice, not fear of, oh shit, the ball's coming in transition. What am I going to do? No, they knew exactly what they were going to do, and kudos to them.
And you know what's funny? This is another funny thing is, yesterday also exposed something, especially with the PSG team. I remember a few people were saying, "Oh, the issue with Man City in the Premier League right now, why we are struggling is we were all agreeing to this, but now I don't agree to it. Now I'm like, rubbish, it's rubbish." And yesterday PSG showed me it's rubbish. It says we lack physicality in a way, like our players are too short, this and that. Now look at Joao Neves and Vitinha, 5 foot. But it's all about technique. It's all about youth. The issue we have at City is our midfielders. Gundogan was short, but used to be amazing. It's just physicality. We are old. We're very old. We cannot run. We cannot make those runs. But yesterday, PSG, amazing PSG in the 2 rounds. And the player that has to live with his head high in these 2 legs is Alisson Cow. Alisson tried. Alisson tried to save these guys.
If it wasn't for Alisson, they're out in the first leg.
Oh, I'm telling you. And you know what? I said this and people are getting angry. Cow, this Alisson guy, if he was our keeper during our UCL run, throughout our UCL runs where we used to get knocked out in semifinals, I don't think we're losing. You know that?
Yeah.
Do you remember those moments where we lost against Monaco 5-3? Because of the aggregate. With Alisson in goal, you're not losing those games. You're not losing those games.
More than likely, more than likely.
You sometimes you need. The thing about Edison is he's a good keeper, but he lacks concentration sometimes, and sometimes he gets bored. I think so because of the way we play at City. But Alisson's concentration 24/7 all the time during 90 minutes of the game. I think that's the reason why Alisson, you find out him being the first choice keeper at Brazil. Am I wrong, Carl?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because he looks more serious, isn't it? Between the two, Alisson looks more serious.
He's just a better shot stopper. That's what he is. He's just a better. Now, distribution-wise, of course, Edison is better. Yeah. But Alisson's shot stopping is much better than Edison.
And that's what you need in the Champions League. Because look at Madrid. Sometimes Madrid have been rescued in the Champions League because the keeper like Neves and all the keepers back in the days, Casillas, they used to be good shot stoppers. And they would keep Madrid in the game. And that's why Madrid have got all those UCLs. Man City are talking to Vest's father. It's bollocks. Don't listen to that, Ronald. It's bollocks. The source is bollocks. Unless it's Fabrizio or Jack, that source was bollocks.
We're doing what? We're buying who?
Verts, talking to Verts.
No, it's nonsense.
By the way, Verts is injured. He's got a very serious injury, by the way.
It's not. So we're not buying any Verts. Nobody's buying any. He's not coming. Why would he buy him to come to us to go and do what?
Yeah.
All these fans like to live in dreamland. I don't know why we love this nonsense.
I know, and the source is poor. The source that reported that. Just share this stream on my community page. I big up to you, Chris, man. Appreciate that. Having Alisson in goal is like having Gemma Collins in goal. Nothing getting past. That's gas. The PSG front three also a threat, but not clinical. Yeah, that's the issue. Because Bakola could have scored. Even Dembele, that touch, he could have scored. They could have scored. There's moments where they could score. Could have been 3-0. PSG are good all over, but can still work on their forwards. Mainly need a clinical striker. Yeah, they do need a clinical striker. Edison is going in summer. I think he might be going in summer. But guys, that was the stream for the PSG Liverpool game. PSG won on pens. Liverpool are out of the Champions League. And now they look forward to playing on Sunday against Newcastle. Newcastle have no more rest, and Newcastle's players are back. Jolinton is back in that midfield. Tonali is looking amazing. Bruno looks very, very determined. Isaac is fit, so Isaac is not injured like last time when I think Liverpool played with them. Isaac was injured. Wilson is back. I can't wait to see this game. Pope is back in goal. Nick Pope is back in goal. So this is a fit defense of Newcastle, fit midfield of Newcastle. It's going to be an interesting game. And I don't think Newcastle are going to be cowards in this game. I think they're going to go for it. They smell blood. Guys, I'm going to start another stream. I was supposed to do that stream right now, but I'm going to start another stream. It's about Pep Guardiola and Man City. If Pep Guardiola has been found out, so you can stay, then I'll start that stream. But thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. Cow, I think, is going to bed. So
no, send me the link. I'll try and join if I can.
Okay, grand. Okay, big up to you. Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and have a great day.
Wins tackles! In front! Wonderful goal! It's a title winner! Perfect end to a perfect day. Manchester City 4, Manchester United 1. Oh, what a hedge! Oh, that's electrifying! Hat-trick hunting, trick getting. Still the appetite is there for more. Oh, it is sensational!